I haven't been hugged in years, not the kind of hug that lasts a second, not the polite kind, not the kind where arms barely touch. I mean the real kind, the kind where you don't have to explain anything, the kind where your heart rests for a moment, the kind where you feel safe. My name is Helen. I am 71 years old, and I miss being held more than I miss anything else in this world. When my children were small, my arms were always full. Someone always needed me. A scraped knee, a bad dream, a fever in the middle of the night. They would run to me without thinking, without asking, without hesitation. "Mama," they'd say, and fall into my arms like that was the safest place on earth. And it was. I didn't sleep much in those years. I didn't rest. I didn't complain, because love made me strong. When they were scared, I was there. When they were sick, I was there. When the world felt too big for them, I made myself smaller so they could fit inside my arms. I never asked for anything back. I thought love would always come back on its own. Now, my arms are empty, and no one notices. My children are grown. They have responsibilities now, jobs, families, busy lives. I understand that, I really do. But understanding doesn't stop the ache. Understanding doesn't replace touch. There are days when my body hurts in places I don't know how to explain. My shoulders feel heavy, my chest feels tight, my hands shake a little when I'm tired, and sometimes I think, if someone just held me for a moment, maybe it wouldn't hurt so much. When my children call, I sound cheerful. I always do. "How are you, Mom?" they ask. "I'm good," I say quickly. Because how do you tell your children that you miss them like air? How do you tell them that you want to crawl into their arms the way they once crawled into yours? How do you tell them that sometimes you feel like a child again, scared, tired, and wanting comfort? I want to tell them, when you were little and cried, I never told you to be strong. I never told you to stop feeling. I never told you to handle it alone. I held you. Now it's my turn. But mothers don't say that out loud. There are nights when I sit on the edge of my bed and hug myself. I wrap my arms around my shoulders and close my eyes. I pretend it's them. Their arms around me, their heads against my chest. I whisper their names softly, like a prayer. Not because I'm lonely, but because I miss my children the way only a mother can. I remember the way they used to sleep on my chest. So small, so warm. Their breathing would slow, and I'd stay perfectly still, afraid to move. I would think, this is what love feels like. I never imagined a day when I would crave that same feeling and have no one to give it to me. Sometimes I watch mothers with young children in the store. I see tired women with crying babies, and I want to tell them, one day your arms will feel empty, and you will miss this more than you can imagine. But I stay quiet, because some lessons can only be learned with time. I don't want my children to feel guilty. That's why I don't tell them. I don't tell them that some days I don't speak at all, that my voice goes unused, that my name is not called. I don't tell them that I sit by the window, hoping one of them will stop by, even for 5 minutes. I don't tell them that when I hear footsteps outside, my heart races like it used to when they came home from school. I was always there when they needed me, always. I showed up tired, I showed up sick, I showed up broken. I never said, I'm too busy. I never said, maybe later. And now, I don't know how to say, I need you. Because mothers are supposed to be strong, even when they're tired, even when they're lonely, even when they want to be held like a child again. Sometimes I imagine what I would say if I was brave enough. I would say, I don't need much. I don't need money. I don't need gifts. I just want you near me. I want to sit beside you. I want to rest my head on your shoulder. I want you to hug me, just because. I want to feel like your mother again, not just a voice on the phone. But when the call comes, I smile with my voice. I'm fine, I say, and the truth stays trapped inside my chest. I look at old photos often, me, younger. them, smaller. My arms wrapped around them. I study those pictures like they're proof that I mattered once, that I was needed, that I was loved in a way that required presence. If you are listening to this, and your mother is still alive, please understand something. She may say she's fine. She may say she doesn't need anything. But there is a part of her that still wants to be held. A part of her that carried you, protected you, loved you without conditions. And that part never grows old. One day her arms will not be there anymore, and you will wish you had used them more.